Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. This week saw a lot of info on weapon balance for ships and related info that we've covered in other videos already, but I'll link that latest RSI newsletter so you have all of those links down below. Roadmap updates. There have been some roadmap changes. The distress call service beacons have been added for 3.1 now. The initial system will allow players to call for help, and this is also going to have the ability to create markers that can be viewed by other players and then traveled to, and it's going to have the mechanic to transfer money between players as rewards as well. There may be some extra bonuses and perks and bits and bobs onto that as well, with being able to transfer Alpha EBC between players, that sort of stuff. That is what we're hoping for. Weapon balance and performance optimization have seen additional tasks added to them as well, which makes sense because they are both core focuses for 3.1. The character customizer and ship damage overhaul look close to completion as well, with the latter in its polished stage. And there's been general just progress on 3.1 with the rest of it. Other patches this year, obviously with 3.2, that's just the distress calls being pushed into 3.1, but 3.3 has seen the addition of environmental blending shaders. The task here is to develop a multi-layered shader for objects that support dirt, sand, ice and other biomes, allowing for the object to believably blend into any environment on the surfaces of planets and moons. 3.4 has also seen two new additions to the schedule: procedural city rendering performance tasks. So this task is the development of technology that allows large procedural cities to render more efficiently in engine regardless of distance from the camera. Obviously incredibly important for what they're trying to do. Improving space scenery aesthetics as well as the other task. This is updating the look and feel of space scenery using transfer tech. So they're using elements of gas cloud tech to improve the quality of asteroid fields and space scenery to create more interesting space environments, generally just making space look prettier, which is really cool. I like the fact that adding more and more onto this schedule. A lot of these tasks were probably there anyway that they're going to add, but didn't really have a name or were kind of rolled into more core tech that they didn't think they needed to mention, but we'll get more and more info as the months roll by. There was an interesting amount of information given in RTV, which was supposed to be weapon balance, but they talked about a few other things. Time to kill is being looked at, so this is for time to kill on ships, whether they be large and small. They currently balance it with stock loadouts on the ships when they're fighting each other to work out how long it should take to kill ships, but it's still very much a work in progress. Larger ships may have much longer times to kill. The intention is to have a component-driven gameplay system with kind of physics-based simulated damage, so the penetration of rounds and lasers and stuff will cause internal damage to systems and areas of a ship. There's not going to be artificial health pools in the future. It does require a lot more bits and pieces and rule sets to come together. This is going to allow for ships to become crippled, disabled, and destroyed without necessarily exploding, allowing people to get to escape pods, board crippled ships, focus attack on subsystems to cripple them. There's going to be lots more interesting gameplay with repair. The times to kill on these larger ships is going to be large, so you're going to have to run around and repair them internally. Bits of the ship are going to break as they're fighting. Again, you need the time to go and repair them to, if you've got the crew and if you've got the skill, to be able to bring the systems back online to win a fight or potentially survive one. Beam weapons are also going to be scheduled for the future as well. They've kind of confirmed that now. I'm very interested in beam weapons. Turret pitch and yaw improvements are on the list for the future as well. Obviously, turrets on ships for multi-crew, they're not perfect at all. They need a lot of work. Pip divergence was talked about as well. So more specifically, they talk about the slowing of the rate of fire of some of your weapons so that you'd effectively have a single pip that you can use to fire all your weapons at a target with, rather than have multiple pips if you wanted. Now, this is a great idea, but there's lots of things that they need to consider with that dynamic convergence of the pip. So potentially we might see this in the future. It's now on their radar, but they haven't talked about any form of scheduling or whether they'll actually implement that. They are looking at some more basic ship things as well for like core combat and core gameplay. So they might change some of the default loadouts for the ships now based on the intention of the ship, based on how weapons are performing, how they're working. And this will also change with the meta and the actual ship and weapon balance, how weapons are paired. So they're going to potentially change around stats so that weapons work together in a certain way. Weapon group assignments as well, they identify that that's something they need to have as default working well on ships. So my weapons group 1, 2, and 3 all potentially more, easy access to them, but also them by default being sensible loadouts or sensible assignments. ESP and IFCS. So ESP is the kind of normalization of your movement when you're moving over a target to shoot at them, which is very important for space combat games, it seems. And IFCS is the Intelligent Flight Computer System, which kind of manages your inputs from your controller to tell the thrusters what to do. Now, they don't work very well in 3.0.1 and 3.0. There was lots of issues with them. There's quite a few bugs with them, which made that core combat experience significantly poorer than it should have been. Now, they have fixes for these, making them significantly better, and they're currently being tested by QA. They're doing a QA test run, QATRs, which I don't know, we may potentially, I suppose, get a patch 3.0.2 to fix them. If not, then it's going to be rolled into 3.1, which isn't too far away now. The 3.1 patch is planned for end of March, and the quarterly reschedule should mean that it goes live at the end of March, whatever. 3.0.1 issues. So there are some other issues with 3.0.1 that they gave us some more info on. They are aware of the interdiction issues. So this is what is causing the significantly lower than normal server and client performance. They've had problems with spawning interdiction events and pirates attacking on other people's servers even. Apparently, like, they're supposed to spawn it in for me, but it will spawn on someone else's server. They've had issues with AI trying to interdict itself, and just loads and loads and loads of people being interdicted constantly. They are testing various things with interdiction at the moment, so expect erratic server performance to continue. This is something they can actually hotfix server-side and change the amount that it happens and fix server-side entirely. I've had servers where I've had 10 FPS constantly, others 30 plus. Also, sometimes I get interdicted a lot. So that is happening. Be aware that in the current gameplay, it can be soul destroying. If you're on a server, you're getting interdicted on a lot and it's grinding to 10 FPS because of that. But like I said, they're testing stuff, though I wish they'd have an in-game or in-launcher pop-up saying that, so that we can give feedback more easily and that we're more aware of what is being tested and what is being pushed currently in current test builds, because alpha environments are still test environments for Star Citizen. It's good to remember that. That is part of the project, and it's part of the reason I enjoy the project, to give my feedback on stuff like that, and to give metrics and help the production and development of the game. And with that in mind, I will link the interdiction frequency data collection questionnaire down below, so you can get involved with that. Also, there are some more infos on the insurance claims / lost ships or unclaimable ships issue that's in the current build of the game. There was a statement from Proxys. We are aware and investigating issues with insurance claims from ships and vehicles within ships. Current reports indicate you cannot file a claim through the ASOP terminal when a ship is destroyed in a fire, fight, or flying, when the game crashes while in flight, or when you abandon a ship. So who is affected? Ships purchased or upgraded during 3.0.1, which is the 2nd of February and later. This will also affect vehicles in ships when lost. How can I fly? If you have a ship from 3.0.0 and prior, so pre-February 2nd, then you should be able to fly all of your ships. Important info on logging out. Log out at Port Olisar, Landed, Levski, or Grimhex. If you log out while flying, you will have to get your ship back through the insurance claim. So bear that in mind. And that's kind of it for the week's news. I am looking forward to 3.1. coming at the end of March, and obviously 3.2 at the end of June, 3.3 at the end of September, and 3.4 at the end of December. Quarterly releases means that we are getting those patches then, although I hope I am not proved wrong on that statement. On the 9th of March, I am going to the Foundry 42 UK office tour. If you have any questions that you'd like me to ask Aaron Roberts, as I have an exclusive interview with him, hopefully, then please jump onto my Discord's questions for board thread, and I'll try and get some of those answered. Again, links are that below. Also, BritterSonCon is on the 21st of April. Big Star Citizen fan-made event. However, there are going to be lots of devs there, including Aaron Roberts, including Brian Chambers, and various panels and that sort of thing are planned. So come, buy a ticket. join the Bar Citizen, join the presentation, the all-day event. There's bar there. It's cool. We do it every year. It's awesome. I'll be there. Every month, we have a giveaway for a ship for February. It's a luxury 890 jump donated by our featured org, Synchronizers. They're an org that plan to encompass all elements of gameplay that Star Citizen has to offer, though they do oppose piracy, but they seek to add members to their mature family of both casual and more hardcore players alike. But other than that, there's no real restrictions on membership. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They are active on Discord and in Star Citizen now. All you need to do, however, to win that 890 jump, or at least be in for a chance of winning it, is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen content during the month. Do you have any questions about Star Citizen's development, about Squadron 42's development, about the news, about gameplay mechanics, whatever, chuck them in the comments below. I apologise if the audio on this video is poor. I'm currently in a room with no curtains and my wall is being replastered. There's nothing in this room, so the acoustics are awful and it's just reverb central, so apologies for that. A special thank you to my Patreons for allowing me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, you can find the links to Patreon down below, as well as everything else we've talked about. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.